I feel like there is huge maternal paternal vibe in this spread, and that's why I mentioned that. And the message that came out while I was shuffling is I feel like this state of emotional balance is really happening in your life, okay? Balancing work life and personal life, balancing your emotional worries with the emotional practicality. So I feel like things are just kind of really balancing out in your emotional state. And I feel like you're not, constantly steeped in anxiety and worries about the future. What's going to happen 3 months from now, 4 months from now? You're more about accepting. This is where I'm at in this present moment. Nothing bad is going to happen for me, or nothing bad is happening right now. So I'm just going to focus on this moment and make the most of it. So you're being very appreciative, you're being very grounded, and you're very much, in the present moment and taking care of things, and, getting, allowing life to just kind of move along, at its own pace, rather than projecting so far into the future like most air signs tend to do. And what I feel here in your love relationship sector, I do sense a little bit of trust issues coming from your partner to you, or you to your partner. Okay, so the energy can be vice versa. It flows both ways. But this is the way that you see your partner. We have here the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords can indicate some type of, it's like doing things behind the scenes, doing something a little bit sneaky, a little bit stealthy, not wanting people to know about it, not wanting to, people to, expose you or find out about it. And this is the way in which you see your partner. You might find them to be a little bit sneaky. You might find that they are possibly a little bit manipulative. I see some snooping. This is sort of like, breaking into a museum, trying to steal the artifact, trying to avoid all the lasers in the security camera. This woman is kind of stealthy. And I don't know why she's not walking around where the pavement is. She's like treading on water, trying to cross over something because she doesn't want to be detected. She doesn't want to be seen. And those things in the background, I feel like they're flowers, but they look like eyeballs. So somebody's snooping. Somebody is like stealthily looking at somebody's emails, social media messages, cell phone messages, text messages, phone calls, possibly checking your phone logs. So I feel like it's somebody that has access to you. So you might be in a relationship, you might live together, you might cohabit. And if this doesn't resonate with you, then your partner is not snooping. Okay. But either way, I feel like you are aware that there's something, some insecurities are being stirred up about your partner. The way that you feel about them, we have here the Four of Pentacles. This is a person who is very possessive, gets jealous quite easily. And the funny thing, so Four of Pentacles is like the miser, the person that's hanging on very, very tightly to their possession. You belong to me. You're not a person, you're an object, and you belong to me. So in its worst manifestation, it could be that you belong to me. You don't belong to anybody else. You belong to me. In a milder manifestation, it could be someone who's quite jealous, who's quite possessive of you. They don't want you to go out and, have male or female friends because it stirs up insecurities within them. They might also be clinging on to this relationship for financial reasons. So there are lots of manifestations of this card. What I was going to say is people express jealousy in different ways. So there are some people that, it's a really difficult feeling to, I guess, admit to and to express. It makes us feel so vulnerable, and it's like, as an air sign, I feel like if you're jealous, you would never express it. Because air signs have this thing about, not wanting to be vulnerable, wanting to be above, quote unquote, the human emotions. If you tell somebody, don't talk to that guy, it makes me jealous, then the person might flaunt it and say, oh, you care about me or you like me and that's why you're jealous. And yes, it's true. It's true. You like them, and that's why, if you don't like them, they can talk to whoever they want. It wouldn't spark jealousy within you. It's when you like somebody that, you want them to yourself, and you get jealous if they're being too cozy or too friendly or too flirtatious with somebody else. So you might be dealing with someone who thinks you're a flirt, who thinks you're flirtatious or too cozy with other people. And so what I'm getting at here, and I think I'm doing it very poorly, is the way that people express jealousy is very different. There are the manipulative kinds that, try to wear down your self-esteem. They say things to undermine you, to undermine your beauty, your achievements, your sense of self-worth, because they don't want you to leave them. And they will say and do these things that can be very, very detrimental to your self-esteem. And then the others might try to physically prevent you from, flirting, from going out with your friends, from having a social life, because they are afraid someone's going to scoop you up. And then there are others too, where, they're a little bit more high-minded, hopefully, and they let you do your thing. But once they've had it, they will walk out. They won't say anything. They'll just walk out. And so you might be dealing with all three of those combinations, or you might be dealing with, somebody that exhibits some of those traits. But either way, there is some trust issue. There are trust issues, between you and another person. And I feel like, they're a little bit more on the self-contained jealous side, where they are possessive of their partner, but they also believe in the sacred and the sacredness and the sanctity of a relationship. A relationship is between two people, and that's how it should be. And they truly believe in that. And so if they see you flirting, if they see you out and about, socializing with a lot of people, they won't trust you. They won't want to get involved with you. Even though they like you, they might turn you down if you make an offer, because they don't trust that you are monogamous. Okay? And then there are others as well that will try to undermine you, or, will act very aloof towards you, and they might say hurtful things to you, even if they like you, because they don't want to feel vulnerable. So you're dealing with like someone who is quite defensive. And I feel like if you're in constant conflict with another person, it doesn't even have to be over flirtation and jealousy. You're dealing with somebody that has trouble apologizing. When they're wrong, they don't apologize. And it can be very manipulative. It's like you're trying to get to the bottom of an argument. You already know you already know the truth. And then, they kind of throw it back at you. And they kind of make it seem like your fault. So, for example, you check their phone. You're like, who's this lady that you're talking to? Rather than answering you, oh, this is my coworker, this is my friend, this is my side woman, they throw the argument back at you. And they're like, why are you going through my phone? Right? So for those who are dealing with that, it's a diversionary tactic to throw you off. And it's because they know they've been caught. They don't want to apologize, and they're not going to apologize. So you better check yourself out of that relationship, Libra, if you're dealing with that. So either way, I do see trust issues. I see manipulation as well. And I see somebody getting very defensive when they're confronted with some wrongdoing. Okay. And it's not healthy for you to stay in this. I feel like many of you have broken up with somebody that has done you wrong. You're trying to move forward. This is the energy that you exude here, the Judgment card. This is moving forward, new beginnings. Whatever new relationship you've been praying for, I feel like it's on the verge of happening for you. but you have to release exes. You have to release past resentments. You have to release past trust issues. You have to release crushes and relationships that are built on power struggles, dominance, and submission, rather than, true harmony and two people coming together and at a level playing field. So aiming for relationships that are not about, conflict and submission and dominance and power trips and control issues. Moving forward to something healthier, something better for you, something more in alignment with your Libran, balancing the scale energy. Okay? And I feel like that's where you're headed right now. But there are still issues from the past that you need to overcome. The way that your love interest or the other person sees you, or the way that people around you sees you, we have here the Five of Wands. This indicates an internal conflict. And I just have to say this, Libras, you're very, very calm and just very balanced on the surface. But I feel like for some of you, it masks something underneath. There are times where you want to, give somebody a piece of your mind, but you don't because you're diplomatic. And there are times where you want to, kind of it's like you're in a room in a board meeting and there's that elephant in the room nobody wants to address. You want to just, stand up on the podium and just address the elephant in the room, but you don't do it because of that sense of propriety. You don't get off on putting people in awkward situation. You're not confrontational. You're not like, you're just not a jerk. You don't want to put people in bad situations. You don't want to inconvenience people. You don't want to upset, like rock the boat. And I feel like for those who are dealing with this, years and years of emotional repression can also have its detrimental impact on you, where you're kind of living this provisionary life, doing what people expect of you, and yet not being able to really voice your opinion and to do things the way that you want. And some people, it's a smart strategy to get ahead in life, like professionally, right? To be like the nice guy and to have everybody kind of look up at you and admire you. But at the same time, if you're never able to voice your opinion, if you feel like you have to censor yourself around, in everything that you do, it can take its toll on you. And then you can, lash out at inopportune moments, lash out at the wrong people, or just, your aggression, it has to go somewhere, right? Energy has to go somewhere. So the frustration and the aggression might be internalized, or it might like find an outlet in the wrong way. So that's just something I want Libras to be a little bit careful of, because that's what's showing up here. Inner conflict. Wanting to do certain things, but facing certain restrictions. Like social propriety, social expectations, not wanting to, rock the boat, wanting to be the nice guy. And so we are just deliberately inoffensive. And the way that people outside look at you, you're able to handle a lot of things. You don't buckle under pressure. People can get a rise out of you, but you're kind of like the calm lake. Okay, you don't give out under pressure. You internalize everything, and I feel like it might not be completely healthy. It's very admirable, I feel, but it's not completely healthy. So find healthy ways to be assertive. We don't have to be a jerk to be assertive, but we have to stand up for ourselves. We have to learn to be assertive, and we have to learn to draw boundaries with other people, okay? I feel like you're on the path to drawing boundaries. You're on the path where you are overcoming this internal conflict within yourself. You might also be dealing with somebody who really pushes your buttons, who is defensive, who is avoidant. Like they won't admit when they're wrong. And you have the same fights over and over and over and over again. But this card can also indicate a lot of passion that we have towards another person. And you're trying to get a new beginning with this new person. You might be dealing with a fire sign here. Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. I also have earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I also have air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So I feel like there is a situation that you've been praying for, but you're kind of like one day praying for it, the next day backing off. So you're being very wishy-washy about your intentions. You want to build something solid with another person, but you have to let go of ghosts from the past relationships. You like a person, they're also maybe not able to open up to you because they're not really sure what your intentions are. So I see a lot of inner conflict within you. You're praying for a new start. And we have the new start here, the Ace of Pentacles. This is a beautiful card that indicates a relationship can be built on this. It's very slow. You're hoping to speed up the timeline. You're hoping for something to break through, to culminate that, you know, the little leaf poking out of the ground. Wanting a new start, wanting something to just start already. And the other person might be very, very hesitant to making this new start, okay? Earth signs in general, if you're dealing with one, they're very slow, and they also need assurance. If they see you as someone who's flirtatious, they're not going to go for it. And if you're dealing with someone who's, you know, manipulative or whatnot, you don't get yourself in that situation, okay? In other areas of your life, I feel, well, actually, let me just finish this off. There is communication here, but we need to communicate in a way where it's more conducive to meaningful communication, rather than just, you know, mindless banter back and forth, like being the social butterfly and just chit chat that don't really have any substance. We need to communicate in a meaningful way. We need to tell the other person what our intentions are. Never mind the, you know, rejection. Never mind, like, just put it on the line. I feel like they're waiting. They like you, but I feel like they're waiting for some type of a gesture from you, something concrete. Okay, so hence the Ace of Pentacles. This is like concrete actions in the real world that we can see, rather than just, you know, praying and hoping. We need to get our hands dirty, and we need to just make this move. Okay, so if you like somebody, that's what needs to happen. Because otherwise, I don't see things moving in the direction that you're hoping for. In other areas of your life, what I do feel here is this balance that's happening for you. I have here the King of Cups and the King of Wands, okay? Knowing when to sit back, knowing when to step up. It's a long process. It's a long process for every sign to learn. Knowing when to not jump the gun, knowing when to hold back, knowing when to go for it, knowing when to kind of relax and trust that the universe will take over. So this is the balance of the drive, the ambition, and the emotions. So balancing the passion, balancing the emotions. And I feel like you've got it. You've got a good balance here. I feel for many of you, there are lots of communication coming from other people to you. And I keep seeing an ex, okay, somebody from your past. Possibly a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. There's communication, and I feel like you're very, very busy. Somebody from the past. Doesn't even have to be a relationship partner. Somebody that you've known, went to school with, worked with, known casually, whatever the situation might be. They're trying to give you some type of communication. They're trying to solicit you for some type of travel. Traveling to see you, traveling together, traveling overseas. I see air travel. And I say that because of this Eight of Wands here. And I feel like they're trying to make a connection. What I'm also feeling as well is for many of you, there is this really, if you have children in particular, you've been doing a really good job raising them. You're making sure that they're fed. You're making sure that they're enrolled in extracurricular activities. You're making sure that you take them to soccer practice, that you not only drive them home, but drive some of their friends home sometimes. You're doing, like, you're going above and beyond to make sure your little ones are going to succeed in the world. And there's a lot of personal joy and satisfaction. It's almost like coming to the realization of, wow, I did not know I could love this deeply. I did not know that parenthood could bring me this much joy. King of Wands, which is a paternal figure. And then we have the Ten of Cups, which is family, completion, happiness, and it's just, emotional exuberance, especially for those who are married or who have children. You're protective of them, you're raising them well, you're teaching them things. They're achieving a lot in life because of your care and attention. So I feel overall, when it comes to children, this is going to be a really, really beautiful week. A lot of people do take their children trick-or-treating. So I feel like that is also an energy here where the fun and the excitement, everything is sparked off in a really nice way. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that, Libras. Be wary of people who are controlling and especially manipulative. Okay. That's my only warning. I think everything else, you've got it. Okay.